Hi guys, today I'm going to be reviewing Fable 3 for the Xbox 360. I did expect to do this review a lot sooner, but the game took longer than I expected, which was a pleasant surprise. It took me a total of 27 hours to complete the game, which is perfect because I paid £27 for it. So that was £1 per hour, which I think is pretty good value. So if anyone's ever played a Fable 1 or 2 before, they'll know obviously the combat system's pretty basic. You'll have your melee attack, long range weapon, which is normally a rifle or a pistol, and then you've got your magic, and that's pretty much all it is to the actual combat system. But it is very nice to play Fable because sometimes games try to be too complicated, or it's not even that it's complicated, but you constantly go, oh, I need to have this type of ammo to put in this type of weapon, and it takes the fun away from it really. And nothing wrong about them kind of games, but Fable's very good on the side of it's just simple, very simple game. There's lots to do in it, so you'll never get bored, and it's not going to be an easy button basher. But at the same time, just having a very easy pick-up game, you just play it, it's absolutely brilliant for that. So what they've done now is they've completely changed the menu system. So instead of going into your menus and selecting your weapons like you do normally, the HUD is completely gone off the screen now, so you've got the world in front of you and that's it, no buttons or anything. And what you can do is when you actually press your pause button, you don't pause and you just teleport to the sanctuary, and from there you can control your map. The menu is practically a room and you'll just run around it. So from there you'll be able to go and actually upgrade your weapons and stuff like that. And how that works is you've got the road to rule, and you go on it and it'll be so far long, and there's treasure chests all along, and each one is a different upgrade for a weapon, a spell, and all the different bits and bobs. And the way you open them is by getting quest seals, and all the way through the game, if you do a large quest, you obviously will be given a lot more points for it, and if you do a small one, less. And then you just spend them and upgrade your ammo that way. So it's not a case of doing bits and bobs and getting XP and that will increase this. You just spend your points on what you want. So pretty much how Fable 2 worked, but now they've slightly switched the menu system. So that's pretty much how the menu system works. And when you're actually trying to get the seals, within the game you've obviously got the main quest, and the story is absolutely brilliant. You spend half the game trying to become the king and the other half ruling as king. So when you're actually doing the main quest, you'll be given about 50 points per every quest that you do. Obviously, within early game, you've got your side quests, and they are quite fun. And I've noticed that a lot of the language in it, not language as in swearing, but the things that's said in it are blatantly aimed at adults this time round. I know number 2 had a few funny bits and bobs in it, but number 3 is definitely aimed towards the adult market. Now, kids, they won't understand it, would go over their heads, but there's a lot of funny dialogue in this one, which threw me off. I didn't expect to see that. But as well as your side quests, you've got all the villagers in the town, and you can actually go up and speak to everyone. And when you interact with the different people, they will obviously become to like you more. And as you get higher, or become better friends with the people, they will ask you to do quests. So every single villager that you find in the game also has like a mini quest. Some of them are repetitive. You'll do similar things like, could you fetch me this, or could you go and send this to this person. But even so, you've got your quests, your sub quests, and then you've got all your villager quests. So you constantly always got things to do. So on that side of things, that's why it took 27 hours to complete. And if you wanted to go through and get every single last bit, you probably could push it to 30, 40. So there's a decent amount of game time to be playing on it. So as I was saying, half of it is spent to become the king. And to do so, you'll be going to different towns and meeting different people. And they will want you to, they will pledge their allegiance to you under one condition, that you will do something for them, and you have to make a promise that you will fix their town, build a library, all these different bits and bobs. And obviously you can be good and bad in the game like you have done in the past ones. And with most games I'll always go through as good, play again as evil. So as I was going through, I'm like, yes, I'll do this, yes, I'll do that, and saying yes to everybody. And I thought this is going to be quite easy, because once I become king, I would blatantly give them what they wanted, because I'm going to be a good ruler, thinking it was as easy as you would just do a quest and that's it. Something's built and they're happy. But what is the cool twist about it is when you become king and you think you're going to do all these good things for people, you'll be taken to the treasury and you'll have all your money and you think, right, I'm going to spend it on these people. But you don't realise you've got to upkeep the armour and all these different bits and bobs, and there's going to be taxes and all the other things in there that you never even thought about. So the first person will come along and say, can you do this? And be straight away like, oh no, if I do that, I'm instantly going to take money out of that, and that's going to affect this part, and in the long term I'll do damage to the people by agreeing to do this. So it is very good how they've done it to not make it quite easy and you go, yes, there you go. You'll actually be given these questions and you will go, I want to, but I can't. And the game is quite good at that. I didn't expect that, and that's what's taken me longer to do, because to try and help the people, I've had to try and get more money. And as you've seen in the past Fable, you can obviously buy property and buy the different shops. The property is slightly different now. When you buy it, it will degrade over time. So as it gets down to zero, well, you've obviously got 100%. Once it gets down to 0%, the people will stop paying rent. So all the time you're having to go around and maintain all the buildings, which obviously cost money in doing so. When I first started playing, I thought, well, I'm not going to bother with them. I'm just going to buy the shops because they just work fine. But then obviously you know you need more cash to be able to provide things that people have been asking for as the ruler. So you find yourself going around repairing everything and stuff like that. It can come slightly tiresome going around to every time pressing repair, 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 and it would have been a nice feature to have just a giant repair button and everything was done. But obviously that would have been too easy. So I can see why they did it, but at the same time it will become a pain in the arse after a bit doing it all the time. So as well as doing your quests, obviously you're going to be maintaining all stuff like that. And the game itself, I just think, is beautifully polished. It's very good. There's not many things I can moan about. The only glitch I've got really is when you go from one quest to another, you'll have like a little trail in front of you that you can follow, and from time to time that disappears or just shoots behind you, and you're like, as you walk that way it will go back in front of you again. So it's only slight little problems like that, and that is the only thing I can moan about, apart from download content. I know in number 2, when you used to run past people, if there was part of download content, they'll say, oh, you can come here, and then when you go to do it, they'll be like, no, we want money off you. But I find it a lot worse in this one. Like when you go to the sanctuary, you've got the butler and he's forever saying, I think there's no items in the shop, and you're like, well, there's some free ones and you'll get them straight away. But then after, every time you go in there, he's going, I think there's some more items in the shop. I'm like, I know, I'm not buying them. And even if I am going to buy them, you've only got to tell me once, and it becomes really annoying listening to him saying you over and over again to buy the download content. And the other thing was, you've got the world and obviously you can fast track around it, but there's 2 towns that I never actually got to do. And I thought, well, probably when I get further on within the game, these will unlock. And with me just completing that, I didn't even think about it until I was writing down my notes, and I thought, I still haven't unlocked him. So I've just loaded Joe's game up and checked, and she hasn't unlocked him. So I've got a funny feeling that they're just download content. And I feel kind of robbed that I don't mind having a game and then download content comes out later, but I hate it when it feels like you've got the game but parts are locked for once you've purchased it. And I think that feels like you've been cheated out of a game. You've purchased it and it's probably already on that disc, but you've got to buy a code to just unlock it. So apart from the tiniest glitch, I wouldn't even call it a glitch, it's just a few annoying little habits of the game, and the download content being shoved in your face a little bit, that's the only 2 qualms you can have with it. The other thing is the ending, as good as it is, was far too easy, because time you get to the ending, you'd have levelled up most of your spells and bits and bobs, and when you come to do it, I just flew through it, and then was sat there like, right, here comes the big boss, nailed him, and then was like, right, something big has got to come, and the credits roll. And it was a good ending, I did enjoy it, the story is fantastic, but I think the difficulty level was too low to be at the ending, because by then you're pretty solid and you can do damage to everything. So if it could have tweaked that a bit better, but apart from that, I think it's absolutely mid-game. As I said, paid £27 for it, 27 hours, so you got your money, you'll get your value for money for it, and on top of it, it's just a fantastic, lovely world. When you're into it, you just sat there smiling, you'll be laughing. The voice acting, it's absolutely brilliant. You've got like Simon Pegg and people like that in there, and it's just an all-round brilliant game. A few little minor things I could moan about, but apart from that, very good game. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. I would give it a 9, but it's just been download content. I absolutely hate it, and with it being shoved in your face, I'll knock it down to 8 out of 10. So yeah, with it being £27, definitely get it. You can't go wrong with it, and I think I probably will purchase some of the download content because I do want to continue the story a bit more and meet different characters. But definitely pick it up, and it will be worth it. Cheers guys, bye.